Hey everybody, how are you doing? It is time for What Is This with Josh Levine. I see some people are waiting. They're still live on YouTube. I see Facebook is up and streaming live. For some reason, YouTube is having an issue. I don't know why. Let me see if it's something on my end. Sorry, people. All right. I see. For some reason, maybe YouTube's coming in late, coming in clutch. Apparently not. Anyway, I see long. Yep. You're not going to do this to me again this week, are you guys? All right. Anyway, you guys are here with me, so we're going to get going. Today's episode, What Is This, is going to feature some interesting things. Hold on one second. I got one other thing to click here. I got to open my window. I got some late additions in today I'm really excited about. We're going to solve some mysteries live here. And I'm going to pull these up and share my screen with you. All right, here we go. Yeah, there is something up with this program that is really annoying me, and I'm sure my YouTube fans are really mad. They're gonna have to catch this on the replay. Wow, it is just really annoying when you pay money for a monthly subscription fee to software that's not doing what it's supposed to do. So anyway, we're gonna get going. We're live here. I'm just gonna say hello to my people there. Make sure that's streaming. We're all good there. All right. So anyway, sorry for taking so long getting all set up here. But as you know, if you watched last week, it was a much better episode with me not preparing. So I tried the same thing again. And by that, I mean, I'm not taking a look at what you have. I really want to try to solve these mysteries on the fly and also share with you some updates on some other mysteries and also introduce some new ones that I've been working on that are very challenging that maybe you can help me with, which would be awesome. So thanks again for tuning in. We're going to jump right in today. If any of you, as always, feel free to send me your mysteries. I last minute, as a matter of fact, I got two people sent me a couple things in. I'm going to try to sneak them into the show. If not, they'll be on next week. But I got a bunch of stuff from my friend Eli and out in New York that I'm going to try to get to a little bit. I got Jill here. I got Brad sent me some stuff in, and I got this figure I want to go over with you. So I'm going to show you this week's episode was featuring this piece right here. Check that out. Funny story with this guy. Hold on, I got it right over here. You can see. All right. I got it right here. Check this out. All right. See this little guy right here? This came from an estate in Tempe. And we've been trying to solve this one for a while. And the pandemic is actually hurting me a little bit on this, and I'll explain why. I actually have to get the metal tested. There's a possibility that this is actually gold. And when I say gold, about 9 carat, it's really heavy, okay, for its size. It's really like, a matter of fact, let me show you a couple of better pictures I have of it right here. So you can see, okay, it's probably got gold in it, and we know that it's South American. Now, when I say we know that, someone had to tell me that. This came from an estate of a world traveler that had things from China, Egypt, you know, the Sudan, a lot of African ethnic items in the estate, and also a lot of pre-Columbian. So I wanted to narrow it down. I have narrowed it down to South American, and most likely it's one of the tribes, and most likely it's the twins will be some connotation that, you know, we'll nail it down and figure it out. But what I want to know is its composition. I really believe it's probably got some gold in it. So I have a client that actually has one of those guns. I don't know if you've ever seen one. They're very expensive. I'm actually going to show you because I've talked about them before and people think I'm nuts. Well, people think I'm nuts in general, but you know how that is. So, oh, that's my daughter. There you go. Hold on one second. I just got to pull a window over here. All right. See right here. All right. Hey, Barbara from Wyoming. Nice. We got New York and Wyoming checking in. Check in wherever you're from. I want to see. I got the, here we go. So, gold testing gun. Okay, I want you to see these things. Thermo Scientific makes them. And this is them right here. It's about a $30,000-$40,000 instrument. However, you can literally shoot that baby right at this piece and get its exact composition. And I'm betting this is going to be in the 9-karat gold. And again, its gold content's not what's going to make it valuable. It's the fact that I have a feeling it's pre-Columbian and it's probably like, 12th century AD. So we will get that all figured out. Sorry. I expected to have the gold testing and would be a little further along with that piece than I was, but my friend actually has COVID, so that's the problem. And he's actually recovering, so it's fantastic news. So I'm excited about that. Oh, and a shout out to my friend Steve that just came down with COVID, just went in the hospital. Prayers for you, brother. I hope you feel better soon. Yeah, everyone I know that's gotten it's really had a struggle. So anyway, next up, I am going to get into a recap a little bit of where we are so far on the other pieces I discussed with you. All right. This piece right here was the illustration. It's the pen and ink with watercolor and gouache. We have narrowed down that it is late 19th century, early 20th century, so somewhere between 1880 and 1920, and we've gotten that from the paper being checked out. We're still unknown to who this artist is. So if anybody out there has a clue who the artist is, that would be fantastic. But R. Linden is all we got. And again, it's not a listed artist that we can find anywhere. So probably an illustrator and someone's going to recognize it. But again, the size of it is quite large. It is not a book plate size or elephant folio. It's really large. All right, next up, our Monas Hieroglyphica, the symbol for Mercury or whatever this thing is. That is all sterling silver, copper, and fire opal with lapis, malachite, green, the gold balls, which are test 14 karat. The silver is silver, coin silver, and these are crystal. On the back, I had showed you it has copper and it's just in crystals. Very unique. It does not open. It is not a belt buckle. It is definitely some talisman of some kind. And this is how it was found. And again, I want to point out you have the same symbol here and the same symbol here. I have contacted the foundation for Rufino Tamayo, the artist that I feel may have made this for the docent at the Phoenix Art Museum back in the 60s. I did find some work that he had done that looks similar to this in art and also in design work on some silver he had done for Castillo, Taxco, Mexican silver. This piece, no clue. It's bronze with lapis, lacquer, malachite, really anyway, you see why I want to solve this mystery. Again, might find out the thing's worth $50, but I just want to know what on earth it is and what it was made for, what its purpose was. And again, it could be for the sake of 1960s funky art. Maybe Jimi Hendrix ordered it and was going to wear it. Anyway, this I've also, again, the Rufino Tamayo Foundation, I have contacted them to see if they can find any photos of the old house and the hacienda and see if this was in fact the door knocker from the house that was supposedly taken off during renovations. I believe they'll have photographs of that. So again, just waiting for some updates for you, but as soon as I know, you'll be the first to know. So there's your updates. Let me jump in with Brad's here. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. All I did was look at the picture. So this is a painting, all right, that was sent in. A matter of fact, he said he's local here in Phoenix. It has a lot of damage, and he wants to know if it's worth restoring. And the reason he wants to, well, obviously, it's an impressionist beach scene. When I first look at it, to me, it looks like it's from the 1920s, 30s. Could be 50s, 60s, but I'm thinking 1920s, 30s, just from my initial impression. Has a lot of crazing and issues, but first glance at this signature, heaven forbid. All right, you see it right there. So I'm going to jump into this. As you can tell, it needs restoration, and that's why he wants to have a clue of who the artist is, so we can look at values. Because if we look at values and find out it's a $15,000-$20,000 artist, it's worth the restoration. If you find out it's worth $50, you probably don't get it restored. All right, so oh my goodness, there's our signature we're dealing with here. So I've showed you some tricks of how I do this, and what's funny is I've seen something like it before. All right, so this is how I would attack this at first. Let's go. Here we go. I have a feeling this is somebody from YouTube telling me, hey, you're not live right now, but that is. All right. Oh, yeah, I will pick up this guitar one of these days. Anyway, people say, are those for show? No, I actually do play those things. Not well anymore, but enough. All right, so what I do is I take a piece like that and I look for first of all, what do I think it is? So I say impressionist beach painting. And I'll look at some of these, and what I'm hoping for is a signature that is similar. All right, because I have no idea. I'm looking, and I'm looking. Oh, nope. It's not Monet. Can you imagine? But again, if you notice, it has a kind of feel like that. Oh, this is interesting. Famous beach paintings. Let me see what this website's going to give me. That's pretty cool. No, that's not my signature. That says Simon. I can read that pretty clearly. David. It's David. No. Monet, of course. No. No. Kagan. No. Now, Matisse, this site's all. Now, again, what if I did find it? Wouldn't that be fantastic on this site? Because obviously Picasso, etc. Okay, that's kind of a dead end. But what I'm going to do is my old friend Asgard. My old friend Asgard, that one of these days they're going to call me and say, stop doing this stuff for free on our website. But I am going to keep doing it until they take it away from me. So let's get to that signature. What do we got? All right. What do you guys see? Now, let me show you a couple other tricks. What I do sometimes with this is I'll take the image and try to make it a little easier for me to make out. Sometimes I'll just, I'll try to sharpen it up. I'll try to crop it to get just the signature. And then maybe, let's see, I'll sharpen it. Sometimes black and white will really help me. It'll jump out. Not in that case. All right. Sometimes I can get it to jump out. Sometimes that's really helpful if it's in like trees or anyway. So I like it best like this. So I'm looking at this and my initial impression is a G. And I see an I. This T, P, or F. That gives me a lot of stuff to go with, doesn't it? And again, I try to go with my first impression. And sometimes when I can't, if I reach a dead end, what I'll do is I'll actually get my wife and just go, first glance, what do you think? And I just do that because, sometimes fresh eyes or what I call it. It's the best way to look at it. So what did I see here? Let's try GT. Okay, GT. And see how many artists that gives me. Oh, 743. But then I'll try okay, what else did I see there? Didn't I see what could these be? Like a GIP, like Giuseppe. How about Giuseppe? Let's try, because again, Italian impressionist, it could be how do you spell Giuseppe? GIU? Let's go, GI. Oh, that's how you spell Giuseppe. Okay, now remember that cool function we had? We literally can highlight just over and you see, oh, now that looks like an impressionist, doesn't it? Okay, so now not digging that. So highlighting over these and looking now, that's got, let's see what we got here. No, those are more the period pieces, not impressionist. Like that. What else did I see? Did I see P? Yeah, let me try a P, and could that be an E right there? Let's try PE. All right. See PE. Who do we have? Oh, no. Oh, a little closer. What I'm hoping for, of course, is like a beach scene, because I'm hoping this is what the artist is known for. It looks like he's pretty good at doing that kind of. What year is that? That's impressionist. Let me take a look. Oh, wait a second. I like the colors here. Oh, I like the signature in red here. Wait a second. What do we got here? Oh, wait a second. Look at that signature. Okay. All right. I think I'm on to something. All right. Giuseppe Pesa. Let's take a look. Let's go beach. Beach volleyball, yeah. No, I'm getting, but I like the, wait a second. What do we got here? Art history. I'm a dog on a bone here. I think we got it. That would be cool. Bingo. Bingo. Yes. Check that out. That's my signature. I'm positive this is the guy. So now what I'm going to do is let's just see if his signature is anybody's listed it. There's another one, and it's red and it's underlined and it looks very similar. Yeah, that's our guy. Check that out. So now we know who this artist is. I'm going to just A/B it just to triple check one more time. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Look at the way that the T hits a P. Look at it. That's definitely it. All right. So we know who the artist is. So now what are we going to do with my buddy Brad's painting? We're going to say, I'm going to go to Live Auctioneers. Again, another free site where I can look at auction records from around the globe. Sound familiar? Maybe where I get my show ideas for last week at the auction, which, by the way, I dropped a new episode. Let's see what we got here. We don't have a lot of prices here. Sort it by the highest price. See what we got. Oh, 3,500 pounds or euros, sorry. And 600 euros, 400 euros, 375. And that's 1920. I mean, 1920, 2020. So that's realistic. These look like that. I don't even know what that is. And these were passed. Yeah, that's our signature. That's our artist. So if I was doing an appraisal on this and someone was asking me, I mean, size wise, let's see, what is this? 17 by 21, very similar size. Want to see the signature? Yep, that's our guy. And this sold for $375 in June. So with the condition and that one's oil on wood panel, post-war contemporary painter. So now I know his biography. So this sold with buyer's premium for about $400. So to me, it's probably retail $500 to $1,000 painting. So restoration, what are you guys thinking? Are you paying to restore it, or are you just gonna clean it up and resell it? That's what most of you are probably going to do, is resell it. So anyway, long story short, I would just put this one up for sale and sell it as is and let somebody else who loves the painting pay for a restoration, because you're probably looking 500 plus for a painting to be restored like this, if not more. And if you need somebody that does that, I got a great guy out here in Mesa that's amazing. So let me know. Anyway, let's get on to our next one. That was exciting. I like when I can finally solve something. Do you see all the projects I'm currently working on? Yeah, it's kind of nutty. Um, one of them might actually do something and take off. We'll see. Let's take a look at some of Eli's stuff. I know Eli sent me a lot of random stuff, so there's not, what I'll do is comment on it as best I can. Okay, here we go. Here's a mishmash of silver. Now, silver like this, I got some videos out there. I have the history of silver video on YouTube you can watch if you're interested, that shows you how to research hallmarks if you're not familiar, English hallmarks, American hallmarks, and really explains how to do it for yourself. I'm going to do a video too on how to value your silver before you take it to a shop just to sell it, just to show you really easy and concise so you know how much profit they're making off you, which again, we don't begrudge anybody making a profit, but we don't want them to take advantage of you. So silver like this is all about the patterns, okay? You have Tiffany, Wallace, Reed and Barton, Oneida. There's a million different silversmith that make silver in these patterns. So I have a cheat sheet that I use. I keep it on my desktop right here. If you want it, let me know. Just shoot me an email and I'll send you a copy of this one. It's really good for a bunch of the brands. It has Gorham, International, Stife, Reed and Barton, Toll, Wallace, and a few more. And literally, you put this right next to them. You know, Wallace Grand Baroque is one I always see out here in Arizona. And you literally will just put these right next to it. Now, again, it's a lot easier if on the back of this it says Wallace. If it says Wallace, you go to Wallace and look it up. If it has a hallmark or it's an earlier English mark, you got to look it up. But the patterns, you can figure them out. Again, some of the companies make the same pattern as well. So just looking them up, rare patterns are what you're looking for. You're looking for, like I said, Gorham, Grand Baroque. You're looking for Louis XV. You're looking for Chantilly. There's a bunch of different patterns that, depending on the maker, can be more valuable than silver. Because right now, silver, last I checked, was at like $26 an ounce. So is your silver worth more than the silver? If in my most recent episode, there's a silver pitcher that just brought oh my gosh, $4,750, and it was $500 worth of silver. So that tells you knowing your makers and your names are really important. So always figure it out. If you look on the back and you don't know, send the hallmark to somebody. Send it to me. I'll tell you who it is. I'm not going to charge you to just look up a hallmark. I can tell you. So anyway, next. So with these, if Eli can get me some names or the pictures of the back or some hallmarks, I can get them narrowed down. But I don't see anything that's terribly expensive, but it's probably mostly silver. Because again, now that silver's at $26, that's really probably what you're looking at. And these are, I can tell these are early early 20th century, late 19th century, because that's real boar's hair. That's real boar's hair. And these are probably 1930s and 1950s, probably have a Ronson lighter inside a Gorham silver case, most likely. Pretty cool stuff. These are some lamps he'd sent out. They're agate ware, and this one, it's an agate swirl, and this one, it's all on the maker with some of these. They don't look super early. They're definitely mid-century modern, and I need a little more information on those. But again, what I would do with that is a quick Google search of exactly what you have there. So you have agate, or actually go with slag glass. So slag glass, actually throw in agate. Let's see, lamp base. And just do a quick image search and then narrow it down. Okay, you definitely have your slag color in there. Mid-century. Let's go. It's not giving me just base, so I can tell Google it must have the word base in it. Might narrow me down a little bit more. No, of course not. Oh, that was another Acro Agate. I remember Acro used to do something like that. They're more of that. Yeah, see, now we're getting a little, see how Acro Agate, the company, slag glass. So then I look at what they call it, and they're vintage Acro Agate was the name of the company that did that. So that's probably where it is. Again, knowing what I know, I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it because, again, it's probably retail, $200 lamp base. So, and again, it's not a great mystery to solve because it's not some unknown mark or have the look of like your Tiffany or Handel or any of the big lamp makers. So I wouldn't go too crazy with it, but it's really cool. Like I said, I love that kind of stuff. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, this is a neat one only because I don't know if you know, I really like board games. That was one of the things that really got me into the industry. Well, it was Dungeons and Dragons. Don't let me fool you. I was a role-playing geek. But anyway, and video games. But board games are where I found a real special niche because nobody studied it. And when you learned what board games people were looking for, there's so many board games in the world. There's tens of thousands, and no one thinks old board games are worth anything. So there was a time where I could get them for nothing and make a profit on eBay. It was the 90s, lots of crazy things in the 90s. But when I saw this, I wasn't familiar with this. When I first saw it, of course, I probably thought like you, and I probably thought it was Milton Bradley. But it's not Milton Bradley. And maybe I was like, is it just Bradley? So I did a quick search of this one, Kingpin line. Again, with something like this, you look for exactly what's on it. Matter of fact, it should come. I thought my, no, see, now it's trying to figure out lamps. Google's very smart. Now, see, it remembers what I was just doing. So it's looking up Bradley Cooper. Don't make fun of me. I was not looking at Bradley Cooper. It just means he's a bigger keyword. Maybe my wife was looking at Bradley Cooper. I'm not sure. But anyway, Bradley and Hubbard lamps are a very common thing. So it thinks I want to know about Bradley Hubbard lamps and Bradley Cooper. Anyway, so Bradley, I'm looking at Bradley, and it was Attleboro. Wasn't it Attleboro? Who are those people? Or was it Battleboro? Because there was a B. Battleboro. Game. Aha, what do we have here? Brattleboro. Josh can't spell or read, and his reading comprehension is no good. That's what it is. All right, see, antique 1900s vintage Bradley wooden 10-pin game, and see, made by the C.E. Bradley Corporation of Brattleboro, Vermont. I didn't know that. So now I see this in a quick email, all right, and what I do is this is how this works. Hold on one second. I can't believe I just clicked that launch, but that's okay. So I see this, and I go to my screen, which I lost. There we are. Come on, Brattleboro. So, and you saw how long it took me to figure that out. So then what I do is I contact my client, and I say, oh, yes, I see the game you sent me. That's a vintage 1900s C. Bradley. They were in Brattleboro, Vermont, in a 10-pin game, and, they're pretty cool. And then, I say, the current value today is about $150. And they're like, wow, did you know about, oh yeah, Bradley, blah, blah, blah. That's called the Antique Roadshow, my friends. They have somebody look it up in 2 seconds, and they tell you all of that stuff, because that stuff's rigged, man. No, I'm kidding. It's they do know, they get a heads up of what you got, and people have pre-screened the people so they can come in and be like, oh, it's the 1920s. And again, it's just doing your research, because not everybody knows everything. People consider me a game expert, actually, and I wouldn't have known. Like I said, I'd never seen this before, but I figured it out pretty quick and could sound like I knew what I was talking about if I needed to. But it's the 1920s Bradley of Brattleboro, Vermont. Now I want to know where Brattleboro, Vermont is. I'm not going to look. But see, that's something I would do if I was home by myself. I would want to know where Brattleboro is. Anyway, you see it there, and now we know the value of it. So that's pretty cool, and I love that stuff. I see this one right here. For some reason, my screen has decided to move over here. All right, table lamp, some cut glass. This is a whole skill set onto its own. I do a lot of research. There's an auction house. Woody's. Woody's has probably the best glass auctions ever. If you ever want to research glass auctions, look at Woody's old auction records, and you'll learn a lot about the makers. All of this cut glass to a lot of people looks the same, but if you know your makers and how to find them, I'm going to do a video on that. My problem is I need props. I don't have access to this stuff right now. So if anybody's got a great cut crystal collection and can send me some acid marks, I would love that. Or I'll come get them from you with a black light and show you how to do it. Anyway, long story short, you need to know your makers. You need to know who they are. Otherwise, all your cut glass is $20-$30 unless you know what you're looking at. And then again, it can be quite valuable. This is a cool piece. I'd like to see the mark on this. From the patina, I'm not thinking it's too old. I'm thinking it's 30s, 40s, but I want to see the mark on this one. There's some cool stuff here. Same here with this lamp. Again, slag looks a little older, but I don't think it's too old. Cool stuff. Love it. Love the Buddha, the coal shuttle. This piece right here probably originally had a slag glass lamp. This is very East Lake. This is turn of the century for sure. It's been wired. Pretty cool. This, again, this is hammered. This is hammered. This you want to inspect for a mark very closely, because this could be like your Bradley and Hubbard, or, oh my gosh, drawing a blank. Anyway, you're going to look for a mark on this. It could be important if it's a Bradley and Hubbard or one of those makers. This I got in this morning, and I could not. This drip pattern is very strange to me, but the mark that was sent in here, I have found a few makers that use this 00 mark, but they don't make sense to the period of this piece. From this redware, this looks like it has some age to it. And it could be, and this will sound crazy, I need to know the size of it. I think he said it was 30, 40 inches tall. It could be, I thought at first it was 8 gallons. And that's I'm probably right there, where it's an 8-gallon crock. So pour 8 gallons of water in and see if I'm right. No. But if not, there are a few makers that use this mark. There's a few later mid 20th century makers, but again, I think this is an earlier piece than that. So I'll send that to a couple of friends. All right, cool piece here. Again, need to know if this is signed or hallmarked. It's probably more contemporary. The frame is not. The glass is not. All right, so let me see what I got next. Jill. Oh, Jill just sent this in. This literally came in. Oh my gosh, I think she sent this. She sent this at about 5:40, but she's got my direct hotline. So see, once you start sending me stuff, you can get my cell phone and text it right to me. This was awesome. So, all right, we have 2 roosters. At first, I thought they were going to be fighting gamecocks. Not sure. Let's see. Not seeing any hallmarks on the bottom. The way they're cut like that, that could be for napkins. That's probably what it is. Yeah, probably from a fine table. So let's see if my theory is correct. One of these days I'll learn not to close windows. So I'm going to go rooster, brass, table, napkin. See what I did? That napkin holder. Oh yeah, we're going to get fancy. Oh, I think I'm on to something. So you see the design and the pattern, but I don't see the exact ones. And you know how I want to be exact. So I'm looking, but I'm definitely on to something there. So again, I know they're not going to be terribly expensive, but I do know that that's what they are. But again, they have more age than these do. Now, see, these are rings. Some will be rings, but some will actually be that style because it's that where they, slotted like that. So then I'll be like, is there another name for that? Because sometimes it's so obvious it's actually, or letter, but I don't think they're for letters because, letter holders were also very similar. But again, when there's two and they're facing each other on a table, I'm thinking they're going to be a table accessory. Mid-century modern, lucite, napkin holders. Yeah, it's definitely going to be. So rooster. So, sometimes chicken might help. Chicken did not help. Sometimes I'm going to do it. Hold on. This could be dangerous. I'm going to go. Let's go gamecock just to be safe. I'm so afraid. Okay, good. You can tell I'm very clean on my computer here. I'm very fine, upstanding citizen. Yeah. See, this is what I was talking about because there's an Italian pair that are like this, and they call them the Fighting Roosters or Fighting Gamecocks. And I thought that might get them for us. But again, that's what they are, Jill. I know that's what they are. I wish I found the exact ones because they are from a mold. You can tell they're molded. So I know they're probably, if I'd say 1960s from that patina, 1970. And really cool. Thanks for sharing those. All right. What do we have next? We have, the figure. I've done the figure. I think I have it covered everything I had for you today. And that's kind of early. So what I want to know is, it says I'm live on YouTube. Okay. Yeah, but the strange thing about that is I don't know where there's it doesn't come in on my main stream for some reason, and it's really, really crazy. I like that's your dad in the boxers. Awesome. What else? I'm trying to think what else I wanted to go over with you. Anyway, let me just give you a couple of recaps. Please do me a favor and send in whatever you have. I'm happy to do this for you. I get a lot during the week on my cell phone, and I usually just answer them if I know them right away. But I'm really looking for some educational opportunities for you guys. And just so you know why I'm doing this is I'm actually doing it to collect all of this information because I'm going to splice this down into quick little tidbits. So for those of you that want, you could literally you'll be able to get all the best of these in a couple of weeks. Because what I'm going to do is get this down to just how to research things, how to narrow down your focus, and really look into what you have and how we do it and how we search these things out. There's not a lot. There's not a lot out there that we can't figure out. As you've seen, I have 5 things that I still have not gotten to the bottom of, but rest assured, I will. I when I get on it, especially the necklace is one of those ones that is just absolutely driving me crazy, and I've meant to do some content on that where I'm literally just barraging social media, museums, etc. I know someone out there knows what this is, and this is I am going to figure it out. So if you guys have any tips, any information, anything you see in it, you're my fresh eyes. I really want to know what you see. If you want to know what I know so far, I'm happy to tell you again. It's silver, copper, fire opal. It's this piece is obviously somehow crafted after this piece. Why this is attached to this, I don't know. Um, Again, it's really interesting. So a lot of people have commented on it and said that they can tell it has magic powers too, just like I can. So let me show you one other trick while I got you. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to wrap up early because I want to get you guys some stuff together. I'm going to email you out. I want you to know I have a couple of things available for you that people have asked for. This is one of them, my master coin list. Now, when I say this, I talk about vintage coins all the time. Like you have a coin collection and people go, I took it to a coin dealer and they told me, it makes me go crazy because I don't know your coin dealer. There's a lot of great coin shops and honest coin dealers out there, but there's also a lot that aren't. And what they'll do is they'll just buy your silver for the silver, and you'll bring in a Morgan silver dollar and they'll say, silver's $26 today and we need to make a few bucks, so we'll give you $20 for it. And you go, oh, that's fair. What a nice guy. Now, you don't know if you have a key date. And a key date is, a mint mark that was not, well, a mint that wasn't in production for a long period of time. So, and when hold on one second. I just want to show you the difference. So you go to a blue book and people go and they buy a blue book at, I love when the memory is full on my computer. One of these days I'll be able to get a new computer and the memory will work. So you go to a blue book and this is what you're going to see. By the way, this is a great tip right here. This is a website I use for everything coin related. It's called numismedia.com and it has every American coin on it and commemorative and modern and a price guide for everything. So as long as you know that you have a Morgan silver dollar, here's your price guide. You don't need to buy a book. Okay. It's all here for free. This is available to the public. They do have a pay site version of this. You don't need it. It's free. So they don't even have pop-ups yet. Now that I said that, they'll probably add pop-ups. So you have a Morgan silver dollar and you have a 1880. See, it's $32. The green arrow means the prices are going up. Okay. And that's really in correlation to silver right now, I can tell. So a basic one is worth $32. All right. It's pretty much the silver value and a little bit of numismatic or coin collector value. But if you look at a Carson City 1880, it's $121. Now, do you know the difference? Do you know where to look for the mint mark? If you don't, that's a very important feature. But what I did with this cheat, now you see this. Now, this is just Morgan silver dollars. That's one page. And then you go to Mercury dimes. And here's another. This is just dimes. So as you can tell, the blue book that has this all in them is quite a thick book, correct? So what you're looking for here is a way to tell what are the ones that are really worth a lot of money, because why do I want to sit here and go through all these? That's crazy when I know I'm just looking for I'm looking, what you're looking for is these are all $32, but this one's $100. These are all $32, $33, but this one's $253. Why does the blue book not just say that? So I've made a cheat sheet for myself because you can never remember all the key dates. Some people can. If coin collecting is your life, you'll memorize all these. But if it's not, and you're doing an appraisal or you inherited a coin collection, a cheat sheet like this will save you a lot of time. So basically, I've created this cheat sheet that I'm more than willing to give you. Just email me and I'll just send it to you. So if I find a collection of Morgan silver dollars, I look for I'm looking for 1886S, 1888S, 1889S, 1893. Oh, you see, and so on. Those are the key dates, and then any Carson City mint. That's what I'm looking for. In a peace dollar, only thing I care about is a 1921, a 1928, or a 1934S. So if I have a stack of 1922s, I know they're worth silver. So that's it. So I'm looking for all these key dates. So if you'd like, I'll send this to you. And it has every important coin on here that you need to know. Wheat penny, Lincoln pennies, etc. Again, it's just the ones to look for that are worth more than the face value, not the face value, but the silver or numismatic value. They're the extra. So happy to send that to you. And I also just created that, like I put this in a PDF too, so I can send this to you. If you'd like my silver flatware pattern guide. Again, this isn't all of them in the world, but this is all the ones you're going to run into. If you don't see it on here, you got something really rare. So again, this is very helpful because when you sell these things online, it's very important to have those things because it's the difference of bucks, because today's world, antique dealers and collectors are searching by keyword. They're not hunting down every auction in the world looking for Chantilly pattern or King Louis. You have to tell them you have it so they can stumble across it on Google, right? So if you don't know what it is and you just say, I have a silver flatware set, somebody's going to get your set for maybe half of what they would have paid if you advertise it properly. So that's where knowing what you have comes in really handy. It's also where things like Worth Point come in handy for researching them, live auctioneers, Invaluable. Gosh, there's so many great sites. I still use Google a lot, and some people give me a wrath about it. They go, there's so many better search engines. I think I have mine pretty trained because honestly, you do train your Google with cookies. When I do finally get a new computer that can handle all this stuff I have on my desktop, I'm going to see if I can move my browser cookies over because I have it trained pretty good. It knows the industry I'm in and knows what I'm looking for. And AI is getting smarter and smarter with that. As a matter of fact, my Chrome, when I sign into Google, will probably remember me and have it figured out because I'm sure. But if I go to your house and do a quick search, a lot of times I don't find what I'm looking for at your house. And it's not because I want to go home and run you up a bill. It's because your search engine might have some other stuff on it. So anyway, that's all we're going to have for today. I'm going to take off next week from this show to get some more data together for you and some more things, but I will have I hope you've been watching my new series 5 things to sell that are hotter than hell. So far I've given you 15 things to sell that are hotter than hell, and tomorrow I'm going to drop 5 more, so we'll be at 20 different genres of things to look for that you may not have thought of. And I dropped the newest last week at the auction this morning, and we're going to have a lot of new content for you. And I might start going live in the mornings just to give you whatever I saw in all my auction research, just a quick little recap in the morning so you can have morning coffee and hear from me for 5 minutes. All right? If you don't want to, you know what to do. You click delete. All right. Take care. Thank you so much. Again, don't forget to send me in all your stuff. I'm signing out. This is Josh Levine from What Is This? Josh Levine Speaks. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. Take care.